Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Young Turks. I'm Shireen Bhan. For the past 11 years, this show has put the spotlight on innovative ideas and young entrepreneurs from around the world. Today, we focus on two very different entrepreneurs. Let's start with 30-year-old Nirvana Chaudhary. He is the eldest son and the managing director of Nepal's 140-year-old family-run multi-sector business conglomerate, the Chaudhary Group. Now, what started off as a business that was supplying goods in the 1870s by his great-grandfather, Buramal Chaudhary, to the erstwhile royal family is today valued at over $1.5 billion with an annual turnover that exceeds 700 million. Now, it was Nirvana's father, Binod Chaudhary, who turned the fortune of the company around in the 80s when he started manufacturing instant noodles called YY. Find out what makes Nirvana one of the most promising young faces of Nepal's business community. Wedged between the high wall of the Himalayas and the steamy jungles of the Indian plains, it was not very long ago that Nepal celebrated the end of its monarchy and became the world's newest republic. And despite the country not being the most obvious choice for making the big bucks, Nepal's most successful business group, the Chaudhary Group, decided to make a difference, and today Binod Chaudhary has emerged as Nepal's first billionaire. Taking the family business and his father's legacy forward is Nirvana Chaudhary, who joined the group at 19. Over the past decade, Nirvana has helped grow the group's business interests, which now span across 90 companies, 60 brands and 30 countries. A diversified conglomerate, the Chaudhary Group has a presence in FMCG, electronics and home appliances, power, cement, biotech, real estate, financial services, telecom, tourism and education. With a you name it and its on-the-list sector portfolio, the group directly employs more than 7,700 people across 9 countries. So what value has Nirvana added to this century-old business group?
We have from 64 businesses, we started consolidating and focusing on core businesses. I mean, after I came into the group, I got into the infrastructure segment because I felt in an insurgency time, there's not much investment going to happen in infrastructure development phase, and sooner or later that is going to come. So I started building in capacity for an EPC company. I started building in, if you want to do up an EPC company, you require raw materials for that. If you require raw materials, I started up a cement company. Now, having a cement company for EPC, you definitely require power. And India-Nepal corridor itself has shortfall of 10,000 megawatt plus power. So with that, we launched a power company. And similarly, telecom is something which I'm a firm believer in. We launched a telecom company.
While Nirvana added a range of companies to the group, his main focus still remains on the FMCG business. After all, it was the group's foray into the ready-to-eat noodles market with YY in the 80s, which made the Chaudhary Group a household name in Nepal and its neighbouring countries. Serving the Indian market for over a decade now with its 5 manufacturing facilities, with the most recent being in Silchar, Nirvana is in the process of starting 3 more noodle plants in Gujarat and 2 other states by 2014. The group today has emerged as a multinational, with the FMCG business alone registering a turnover of $50 million in India and $150 million globally. Without advertising, YY has managed to slurp up an 18% market share in India and 65% in Northeast India, making these instant noodles one of India's fastest growing FMCG brands.
We chose to create a solid distribution network that over the last 1 decade we've been relatively successful in doing. Today we are present all over India. Our distribution network is all over India. Whenever we wanted to get into ATL, top of the line media advertising activities, we saw that our demand was far greater than our supply. And we started focusing on regional activities, regional states, where we started setting up our plants, manufacturing plants, not centrally for one particular massive region, but even going into state level.
The group is also going big on the hospitality business and has inked partnerships with some of the world's best hotels, resorts and spa brands, including Taj Hotels in India. But Chaudhary says creating a global brand from Nepal was as challenging as climbing Everest. While most businesses shut down during Nepal's conflict, the Chaudhary Group decided to expand operations.
In Nepal, we understood the inherent potential that we had, the natural resources that we were vested in, and the opportunity that would exist in terms of even Nepal, geopolitically being centered or located between India and China, which is already in its way of becoming the two most superpowers of the world. So working in Nepal over the last 10 years, I came into Nepal when Nepal's war was at the peak. And I just purely understood the opportunities that exist. And even if you saw, giving you an example of India, the people who are today the biggest corporate houses of India capitalized that during just the post-independence, during the Licensed Raj era, or the opportunities where no one else wanted to come in. It's only post-93 that, when the economy started really booming, people start coming in, but they came into the market with a particular price they had to pay. The first mover's advantage, the people who already took risk in it, were already sitting at the top, and that's precisely what we did in Nepal.
Having struck the right chord in Nepal, Nirvana is now tuning into business opportunities in the UAE, Sri Lanka, East Africa, Cambodia, Mozambique, and even the US. Already in sync with Indian consumers, he is on a mission to sell 1 billion packets of Vai by 2015. Nirvana, here's wishing you the very best of luck for the future, and we hope you continue to redefine the Chaudhary Group's success. Time now for us to take a break. When we return, we head to Coorg and meet Shruti Shibulal.